Just dip back a little bit so I can get all the shot in.
My name is Richard Szymczuk. I live in Geelong. I take photographs of the urban landscape.
Hopefully I won't get knocked down by the side of the road by a car going by.
I'll do one, I'll just set the aperture down.
Beeping at the last minute and then I get hit and flattened and dead.
Then get the shot.
I remember, oh geez, maybe about 4 years ago or something, and I actually made an inquiry to one petrol company one time, just to check, and because it's got the words Ampol, Caltex here and there, and I thought at that time, would they want to be depicted, you know, their corporate image in such a rundown fashion, even though for us, right, it's art, but they probably might not like to see it, you know, on a wall depicted in that manner. Yep. And I rang up one of the places. It could have been actually Caltex in Melbourne, in St Kilda Road, and I talked to a woman there, and she goes, "Oh, you know, if you had an exhibition and if it had you know, Caltex signs, whatever, we have to see it first, you know, to approve you having it on a wall and stuff like that." And I just fucking went cold, and you know, I put down the phone, and I didn't take any photo for about 6 months after that. That kind of thing. And I thought, well, fuck, did I get into the wrong area by photographing things that are in a, you know, in a public street? Yeah, this is a strange one at the time. I remember I thought, fuck, yeah, it's just a weird thing. Well, you got to something has to get you out of the house. This is one of them that gets me out of the house. My instinct is to get out and about in the car and drive around and look for interesting things, go to interesting old places, see what's at the end of the road. How old am I? Yeah. I'm 23. No, I'm 37. Yeah, mum and dad Polish. Dad's no longer alive, but I don't speak the language. I speak bad English.
Went to Prahran College in Melbourne for 3 years to do art and design there, Diploma of Art and Design. That was geared towards advertising or the design area of employment. Out and about, like looking for work, doing freelance illustrating for a few years and photographic assisting work, and just working on my own photographic stuff anyway, even though it might not have been a Foley at the time. You just weight of numbers, you accumulate a shitload of photos basically. And then you get the bigger version, a fucking shitload. It's just about taking the camera with me out and about in my travels and just recording things. Around that time, about 1986, just developing a bit of an interest for that genre of architecture and also photography.
This one was in Corio, 87. On this particular day in 87, just being isolated with this, I think it may have been Ampol petrol station, that's when it really clicked with me that I reckon I could like photographing this kind of stuff. This petrol station was demolished in 1988. It was just desolate and barren, with the Melbourne road traffic zooming by between Geelong and Melbourne. Nah, I never get sick of them. Nah, I never get sick of looking at them. Never get sick of photographing it either.
I like the film, and to look at the transparency film on the light board. I like the quality of it. I like the resolution. No, not a lot of people have seen the trannies. I used to, when I was looking for photographic assisting work, that comprised a bit of my photographic folio, so professional people, photographers would have seen it. I look for quite a bit of work in a variety of places. But in terms of a broader audience, no, a broader audience hasn't seen it, no.
But I prefer to take the photographs when there's nobody around, so I don't get pestered by anyone saying, "What are you doing here? What are you photographing?" Or "What are you doing and what are you doing it for?" And I'm just doing it because I'm doing it ultimately. That's what it boils down to, and I really don't want to explain myself. Unless somebody's friendly, then I'll give them a little bit back and engage with them. But sometimes there's the odd person that wants to know a little bit too much, or they got a sticky beak, and they might want to try and catch you out and embarrass you somehow. And so I prefer to photograph, well, predominantly on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. There's not many people about, so I can obviously concentrate on the location at hand. I can just put my mind into the photography. Yeah, well, sometimes you might happen to have the right light at the right time, like it's summer and you think, I reckon this shot will look great in the next couple of days, maybe later on in the evening, so you come back. Other times you might think, well, I'll get this shot anyway, so at least I've got a record before it's demolished. But then you'll know if it's still around, hopefully in 4 months or 6 times with the winter light as opposed to summer, you get the better shot.
I'm sure there's other people that I don't know about that photograph things similar to what I do, but you know, they might exhibit, they might sell it, they might not. But no, I wouldn't be the only one to photograph this style or suburban, you know, interesting buildings in suburbia. This is one of my favourites. Yeah, it's a beauty. She's very attractive, but she's kind of like a female with a difference. She's like half male, half female. A little bit kind of Beavis from Beavis and Butthead thrown in there. A little bit of a she-male, I guess, but I'm not going to read too much into it. But it's really that bad. It's that badly illustrated that it's absolutely brilliant. And now it's been painted over, so what was once a fantastic piece of artwork is just a plain white wall. But I've got this beauty.
Good one. What's another good one? A couple of hairy ones there. I've got a couple of flowering. Or trichocereus. Cereus means candle, hence, you know, like the shaft like a candle. That one's called, I think, a Noto cactus. This one is all the multi-heads. They grow on sides of hills and mountains.
Yeah, I like their form, like the spiky form, and they're strong plants. They thrive in the heat. They don't like the cold weather though. Yeah, I first photographed this, I'd say, about 1989. I might photograph it about every 2 years or so, just get a shot in better light. Just while I'm going past here, I'll take note of it, then I might come back and just get a shot of it. So 13 years later, the Agave Americana is still growing and sprouting its little offshoot at the sides. So the young ones will overtake the old ones after they flower, and it grows a huge flower stack called an inflorescence, and that will be about 15 foot high. That flowers, then over around a 2-year period, it dries up and then gradually falls towards the earth bit by bit. It happens once in its lifetime. It's its only flower. It flowers at the end of its life cycle. And for this one, I imagine the life cycle would have been maybe 10 years or 15 years for its first flower, which was its final flower as well.
I've been photographing on this theme for about over a 10-year period, but more so in the last 5 years as more and more locations have been demolished and vanishing from our suburban landscapes. It's just alarming, in particular the last 3 years, the rate of demolition. Well, they're primarily around Geelong, usually no more than maybe 20 miles out of town.
There's a lot of places to find. At all, even though it's got Bay, which is a beautiful bay. But I think with Geelong's history being a central hub for industry from the western part of Victoria, all these factories and industries congregate around Geelong, and the shops that service them, the petrol stations that service them as well.
I think I only went to that milk bar only once or twice. Yeah, and all the time I've been in Geelong, that's all. So it was a surprise to see that shut down, because I thought that for a long while that was doing good business. So it's strange to drive by one day, and it was shut down, and quite a few people live in that particular neighbourhood. But I guess that all has to do with the economics and perhaps the GST which is introduced. Milk bars shutting down only half a year or 6 months, or half a year or 1 year after GST being brought in, and just people there doing it tough, and the big supermarkets and 7-Elevens are reaping the rewards.
Well, it appears to be like some kind of storeroom now with planks of wood, cupboards, boxes, and yeah, just predominantly lengths of wood. Yeah, that's a closed sign. Don't tell everyone where it is, because then they'll come and photograph it. What else is in there? Styrofoam boxes with junk in it. So I guess it's a bit of a storehouse at the moment, so I'm wondering what the future will hold. Great place. Type of place I'd really love to buy for a house and live in. I never really noticed it before because I'd be probably too busy taking a photo of it in the past. But the old Terex sign, which would have been maybe a 1970s Terex sign, been overpainted by the drift, but now the drift, the black is fading away and the Terex is coming through with a black font instead of its original colour. That's a nice piece. It's a nice little touch. Okay, here's a nice kind of fun-on shot if I can steady the camera. I think that's kind of steady. Yeah, just get a shot of it smack straight on. Beautiful light at the moment. That winter sunlight late in the afternoon. Oh. Actually, the light now is even better with the shadow kind of creeping from the left-hand side, and the sun's really dramatic on the milk bar. It's quite beautiful. Yeah, that's good. That's incredible light now. It really is. But that's really great light, and you see like the what do you call it? The fence on the right-hand side is in shadow, and the fence on the left-hand side's in shadow, and yet the building's all in sunlight, and the shadow kind of creeping over the road and the footpath. So really, the only thing lit is the building within that shot, and nothing on the side of it. So it's quite a unique light. We came at the right time of day, I think, today. What time is it?
On the odd thing, you might come back and photograph it for a third time just for the heck of it. You might get a better shot, or you might get just something subliminally more interesting. You don't realise it at the time until you've got one version, the second version, and the third, or perhaps the final one, that even though you photographed the thing in different lights, the final third one that's actually does the job.
Yeah, but I'm only crapping on. I photograph that because I think it looks good. But you know, once you get talking about it, you sound like a bit of a fucking wanker. Like, oh, I love the light on it and that. But you know, you asked me, so I got to talk like a wanker. I just go out and photograph it because I like the things. You know, that's basically what it is. Like, you know, you think, oh, it's a nice day. I'm a bit bored. Yeah, I'll go out and look for something good to photograph, and then you get there and you think, fuck, that looks great. The time's right, I'm going to photograph it, it's going to look really bloody good. Simple as that. That's ultimately what it is. It's just passing away the time and just taking a great shot. I mean, it's escapism, but you record just what's in my suburb and the suburbs around me, and then you accumulate all of it.
But I like how you have the day's accumulation of dust and dirt and pollution and the colours in the sky that throws itself onto the image that you're photographing, whereas morning is a little bit too sharp, a little bit too crisp. Well, you get that actually quite often. You get the petrol station that shuts down, the weeds grow, and you think this is definitely going to get knocked down, and then half a year later it reopens as a different company. I prefer it though to be knocked down. But I try and get the shot before the opportunity vanishes. But if I get better light, hence I'll go back to it and get the better light or a tighter angle, a little bit more dramatic in a sense. And then, you know, I'm at ease with that. Once it's demolished, it's like, well, I've got it. It's been demolished. In a sense, you do capture something and then it's gone, removed for all time.
Oh, geez, it's been fenced up now. I wonder if it's still there. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's fucking gone. But yeah, this is the ultimate story from, you know, the architecture is just not respected. It's not like an opportunity for perhaps a developer to reincorporate it into a residential complex. It's just squashed, just bulldozed, and what's that, about 2,000 square metres of mud and slush. It's an ironic kind of reward for the work that you do. You photograph the old servo or the old milk bar, and it's satisfying to know that you've recorded a bit of history, but this is the ultimate recognition that you have captured it. You've got the image. It's in your like your folio or your record at home, and then to come back and see it not there. Yeah, it's just kind of bitter and kind of funny at the same time. It's a pity that you can't see it living on in a different form. I don't think there's much Italian design in that. No Tuscan influence. It's berserk. It really is. It's amazing. Pity there's not more of them around Geelong, then I'd start photographing them.